Principle of public administration as applicable in any nation of the world. In any viable discussion about administration of the public domains, the following are the basic principles needed. Principle of political direction. Principle of public responsibility. Principle of social necessity. Principle of efficiency. Principle of public relations. Principle of organization. Principle of evolution and progress. Principle of research. Principle of authority. Principle of obedience and discipline. Principle of duty and interest. Principle of responsibility. Principle of coordination. Principle of division of labor. Principle of hierarchy. Principle of equity, as well as applicability of these principles.
How well you can apply these principles determines your efficiency and your effectiveness as an administrator. The following are each of these principles in full explanation.
Principle of public relations. As a public administrator, try to relate to your public and the general public. Your public is your immediate client or customer. The general public are the people in the community or area or state where your organization or business enterprise is located. Appreciating the sentiments and feelings of the public is very paramount, and this determines to a great extent the success of democracy, which we nurture with our duty as public administrators. Remember, you are to nurture welfareism of the people and not vice versa. Also, you are not to police your colleagues nor your subordinates. This gives freedom and liberty to everybody that works with you when you give them a latitude to operate. Principle of organization. This is a principle that focuses on the need for proper organizing of work ethics and structures within administrative machineries. This has to do with coordination of all the human resources in an enterprise. Public administration possesses much values to the well-being, especially social well-being of the people. Organization must be economical but well managed with uttermost coordination, correlation and integration in order to result in administrative virtues. This will make all the departments work in harmony and cooperatively. This means when you find yourself in an organization, you should smoothen yourself and balance with other co-opted workers or colleagues to function together. Government is an entity and should run as such. Hence, important and independent activities and business of government should be integrated into one whole. Government business do not scatter around or not being fused into each other. So we must relate both human and material resources together to form a wholesome activities for government's business to thrive. Also, there must be a watertight division of labor as public administration is characterized. This implies hierarchical grading of the staff, each specializing in a particular function or group of related functions. Government workers are to work in harmony and to regard the hierarchical placement of staff. You have junior, you have seniors, and you have people on the same line of rank. This is a warning. Each department should operate as an efficient unit. Each department should operate efficiently and as a unit, which is a subunit under the whole organ. Vertical and horizontal correlation should be achieved to cope with daily mass of obligation. That is clear enough. There must be a line of authority in the vertical organizational line, otherwise the head of department will go through stress of making all the decision himself. There is a sense in relating this line of authority in a in a horizontal dimension so as to facilitate solution to problems when they arise in various sites and aspects by the departmental officers specializing in each of them. Finally, principle of organization introduces analysis of organization by line and staff, and the line signifies the employees directly specialized in the primary objects of which the organization exists, whereas conversely the concept of staff connotes the advisory agencies to a high-ranking official but without operating responsibility. That is, staff is a supporting part of the organization. Thank you. Principle of research. One of the most tremendous principles of public administration is the principle of research. It refers to finding out new ways, methods, or techniques of doing things. There should be healthy comparison between our work procedures and that of other clients. This connotes the common slogan which we say like international best practice or comparative advantage, etc. Points to note. It portrays on administrative foresight and planning. Principle of research recognizes that provision should be made for advancement of the knowledge of techniques of the public administrators. Part of its purview is also to channel new methods and strategies of modern work plans. Finally, the government policy should involve adequate and periodic training of administrators as well as assisting them to undergo research, which must be documented at all times. This, to a large extent, helps public administrators to be better. Principle of evolution and progress. This is a principle impacted by historians. An historian like Hege Victor He in 2002 says, by the end of 18th century and the beginning of 19th century, not much has been done to cope with number of overwhelming social issues in the society. This means there were so many areas of our living then that have not been taken care of by governments or government administrators. In today's world, the government has established new departments to cater for emerging trends of socio-cultural needs of the gradual complexity of the state, such as the following: social welfare departments, community projects, poverty alleviation program, public health department, migration and security initiatives, etc. With the opening of new departments and administrative force is continually increasing, voluntary cooperation and the system of free contact have increasingly been replaced by the system of compulsory cooperation of the people. Thereby, more tasks have been assigned to public administration, while there is no sign that this trend may be reversed. This means that we are better off in administration than years before, and it keeps increasing like that. Issues like social security, education, public health, basic infrastructure like electricity and water supply and many other activities have been removed from exclusive, voluntary, private or uncontrolled exploitation by the bourgeoisie. Today, the relationship between state and individual is not that of opposition, but basically one of self-help and cooperative efforts via a better and more intelligently planned division of labor. The summary here is that in the olden days, when governance was starting, there are bourgeoisies and exploiters who exploited the people, but government today is taking over those enterprises so as to bring relief and succor to the people, and this is what the principle is all about.